The Central Maya got into a civil war and weakened themselves. That's the classic divide and conquer strategy that has defeated many of our indigenous peoples.
In other words, the Mexicans sold arms to the Southern Mayas in Belize to fight against the Central Mayas, while the British sold arms to the Central Mayas in Mexico to fight against the Southern Mayas in Belize.
The British did everything to promote this division between the Cruzoob and the Southern Maya. And there was even the suggestion that in the 1850s, the Cruzoob was so powerful that they wanted to ask the British to help them form a nation, okay? A Mayan nation in Yucatan. They wanted to have nothing to do with the Mexicans. They wanted a Mayan nation with its capital at Chan Santa Cruz.
For a while, the request of the Cruzoob Mayas to become a British protectorate was strongly entertained by the British, especially when attempts to move their woodcutting operations into western Belize met with organized Maya resistance. There are many stories of the Icaiche general, Marcos Canol, and his defeat at the Battle of Orange Walk in the 1880s, but next to nothing in our history book about the Battle of San Pedro in Yalbac.
21st of December, 1866, the Battle of San Pedro. Obviously, we don't celebrate it, no? The British were soundly defeated. They almost evacuated Belize. They had the ships out on the port, and they were sending out SOSs saying, please come in and help us, the Maya are gonna destroy us.
The Caste War dragged on for more than 50 years. Finally, in 1901, the British and Mexicans joined forces and agreed to not sell any more weapons to any Mayas. The odds were against them, so the Mayas gave up. The war was now over, but the face of Belize had been changed forever. More on the Yucatec Mayas when we return. From as early as 1850, many Maya mestizos fleeing the Caste War established permanent settlements in the present-day towns of Corozal, Orange Walk, San Ignacio, and Benquevejo del Carmen, and in villages such as Consejo, Caye, Pachacan, San Joaquin, and Socots. They brought with them not only Spanish Christian customs, but agricultural know-how and skills in sugar production.
At the very beginning, the Maya Yucatecos concentrated on the small ranchos like Luisville, Saltillos, and in Orange Walk district, which at that time, of course, there was only one district, the Northern District.
The success of the sugar-producing ranchos in northern Belize attracted the attention of these powerful British companies, who up until then were still exporting only wood.
There were about 10 or 11 English companies that actually had already taken over the whole lands of Belize, or British Honduras then. So they controlled all the lands. When they found out that the Maya Yucatecos could produce sugar cane here in the north, they took away, in other words, the lands that they were renting to the Yucatecos, to the Maya Yucatecos, were taken over by the English companies. And then they began producing now at a far more, with large amounts of sugar then, which eventually about 1868 or so, they exported sugar to England.
Although the Maya Yucatecos were forced to relinquish control of the sugar industry to the British, for Mateo Ayuso, the development of the industry by the British has meant prosperity for the Mayas of the north, who now have a chance to educate their children.
At that time, for example, we didn't have any colleges around here, so our people from the north, from Corozal as well as from Orange Walk, or the districts, I should say, had to go to Belize City to study. Now with this sugar industry now coming into the picture, into this arena, things changed. So on the sugar industry depends now the education of their children, their daily welfare, and everything, for example, as what life calls for. The standard of living here in Corozal, and likewise in Chaac, has shut up. Now we have, for example, in the north, not only college students or 4 farmers, 6 farmers, but we have even people with degrees coming out from universities.
But in Caye village, there are some school teachers who feel it is still important for their pupils to remember where they came from. This is why the school children of Caye Roman Catholic School say rosaries in the village cemetery every year on November 1st and 2nd on behalf of their dead.
We are teaching the children one way or the other to still remember their families that are dead, and so they bring their candles, their flowers, and they take it to the tomb where they know their families are buried.
The school curriculum speaks of teaching our children our culture. So the teachers of Caye hope, just as Benjamin Icaiche hopes, that the younger generations will appreciate the culture of their ancestors and continue in the traditions, just like the one we've shown you today. I'm Curtis Gillett, and you've been watching Simply Belize, a cultural diary.
For more information on the Yucatec Maya, please visit our website at www.simplybelize.org.